Hello you wonderful people, how are you guys doing? Welcome back to this channel after it has reached 10,000 subscribers. And if you cannot already tell by the look on my face, I am stoked, I am happy as hell because this has been such a major milestone for me to achieve. So thank you to each and every one of you who subscribed, who watches my videos. I love you guys, I really do. So this big heart is for you as I start to answer your questions and spill some of the tea, actually coffee in my case, on a few personal details from my life, a few secrets on how I started out on YouTube and all of that jazz. So let's take a sip and let's get started. Okay, the first one is, what is your qualification? And I've actually gotten quite a few of these questions about my qualifications. So I did my bachelor's in psychology honors from Delhi University. Then I went on to do a PG diploma in journalism from Times School of Journalism. Then I did a master's in journalism from Sikkim Manipal University while I was working at Times of India. And now I'm pursuing my master's in psychology. So full circle, back to the course field that I started with. And I'm doing a distance program from IGNU. The reason why I'm doing a distance program is because I don't plan on becoming a practicing therapist or counselor, although I am pursuing my degree in counseling psychology, which is also a question that someone asked. So if you are planning to have a career in psychology and you want to become a therapist or a counselor, you should consider doing a full-time master's in your MPhil and your PhD. Of all of the required steps. I am doing this because I want to improve my education in the field and then create better content for you guys, as well as help you guys in your life by being a life coach. Alrighty, the second personal question is my favorite hobby. So my hobbies keep switching. Right now, my favorite hobby is actually, whenever I do get like time off, is to watch a really nice, funny sitcom. I know that's not much, and I tell people to like reduce their screen time, but I don't usually get a lot of time to myself. When I do, I like to unwind by watching a nice funny thing on TV. Alrighty, the next question. Where are you from and where are you currently and what's the motivation behind YouTube? Okay, I was born in Delhi, but I was brought up all over the country because my dad was in the army, and where am I currently is Delhi again. And the motivation behind YouTube is my love for creating. My love for creating content, my love for editing, my love for putting things together and bringing them to life in the form of a photo or a video. And I have loved doing this for as long as I can remember. Next question, how did you choose this career after 12th and was it difficult? Sweetie, my 12th was 13 years ago at this point. I graduated out of school in 2010. And no, I did not know that this is the career that I was going to end up with. I started out doing psychology and then I decided that I wanted to get into a more media related field, and then I switched things up in my master's like I mentioned, and I practiced journalism for a couple of years, then I practiced digital content creation for a couple of years, and now I am doing this. So it's not been a linear trajectory at all. Does it ever get tiring being so gorgeous? Thank you. And no. Okay, next question. Share something about your college life. That is a very open-ended question, but I will attempt. Okay, you know how for a lot of people, college is like the best time of their lives? It wasn't the case for me. I had a great time in college. I didn't have a bad time or anything. I loved college. But I think the best time of my life started after college when I started working and earning my own money, and like I had that financial freedom to make decisions. And at that point, I realized that all of this mehnat that I have done in life is to get to this point so that I can make my own money. Next question, how do you always stay so productive? Well, a lot of the motivation for being productive is intrinsic. Like, I am internally very motivated. I love doing what I currently do. And I'm also the kind of person who loves routine. So it comes naturally to me as opposed to how it comes to other people. And that is the best response that I have for this at the moment. I have a couple of videos on the channel on productivity and the steps that I usually take, because इस video में discuss करूँगी तो बहुत ही लंबा हो जाएगा. But you can go check those out and see if some of those steps work for you. I have used some of those at all points in life. I used all of them at some point in my life, and I usually use like a combination of those to ensure that I stay on track with my work. एंड द बेसिक रीजन इज कि काम नहीं करोगे तो पैसे नहीं आएंगे, और पैसे नहीं आएंगे तो जिंदगी जैसे लैविशली जीना चाहते हो वो कैसे जियोगे दोस्त. नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन, व्हाट इज योर एज? वेल, कैन यू गेस माय एज? I have spoken about it multiple points in time on Instagram, I think even on YouTube, but anyways, just for fun, I like to have a lot of fun with this. Guess my age, people. I am going to reveal it in just a few seconds. I'm 30. I was born in 1993, so that's that. Okay, next question. Are you single, to be honest? Why? If yes, so how do you live happily? Am I single or not is not the question we are answering today. The question that we want to answer is, if I am single or if anybody is single, how do you live happily? Sweetie, you are single for the majority of your life before you get into a relationship, right? You don't get into a relationship right out of the womb, and you are happy then. So happiness in essence doesn't have a lot to do with whether you're single, whether you're in a relationship. A lot of those are social constructs, and I'm not saying that a relationship cannot make you happy. It definitely can if it's with the right person. But if you are unhappy as a person, it's not necessary that a relationship will fix that. So you might want to dig deeper into why you're unhappy single. Is it just because society expects this to be in a certain way? Is it just because there's pressure to be in a relationship? Or is it something you really want? Or have you been hurt in the past? There could be multiple reasons, and I am not turning this into another Gyan ka lecture. So let's move on. Next one is, how do you manage your mental health on your lowest? Okay, hands down, the thing that has had the biggest impact on my mental health is exercising. And I kid you not, on days that I'm feeling low, and I usually go work out in the morning. So there are days when the mornings are chaotic and when nothing is going right, and I go to the gym, I work out, and after that I can see a visible difference in my mood, in the way that I feel about myself. So one is exercising. I ensure that I get like 5 to 6 days of workouts in a week. The second thing is, I have like a set of processes in place. So usually when I'm feeling extremely low, I have my favorite fallback on shows that I watch, sitcoms, and I usually order like a pan of chocolate from Theo Broma, have that with coffee. So that's like my low mood self-care kind of ritual that I have in place. And the fundamental understanding that the low days don't last forever. Ever since that thing clicked, ever since I started understanding that the way that I'm feeling right now is not the way that I'm going to feel forever, it just helps me stay detached in that moment. So it allows me to feel all of those feelings while also realizing that this is not how it's going to be forever. So I'm able to be in that moment, feel sad, cry it out, watch a couple of episodes of Friends or Brooklyn Nine-Nine, eat my chocolate croissant and my coffee, and talk to some of my closest friends. And that process usually just gets me out of that rut. Once I'm out, I start taking action, and those actions then help me divert myself from that feeling of sadness or whatever low feeling that I'm feeling. Next question, do you love cars or long solo drives? If yes, then let us know. Love your content. Thank you so much for loving my content. Do you love cars? So I'm not a car head, or if that is even a word, or a car junkie or whatever, like the term is for people who love cars. But I love long solo drives. Okay, so when I started working in 2014, my work was like a night shift thing. So I used to come back home from office at like 2 in the night because I was working with a newspaper. And that time of driving back from office to my house was my absolute favorite. I used to listen to my favorite songs, and I usually used to get like a cold coffee and a hot dog from 24/7 and eat that. Not the healthiest thing to do, but I used to love that time. Like driving used to be my me time. I haven't done that in a while, but yeah, I absolutely love doing that. Next question is, what is your mission in life? Very loaded question. I actually really like some of these questions. You guys have sent in like really nice ones, so thank you for that. My mission in life as of now is to help as many people as I can to realize their full potential, so that they can live life knowing what they can achieve and actually work towards those goals. So that is my mission right now, but it's not the only mission in life. In fact, my mission throughout life has kept changing. So this is it for now. And we'll come back to this question in a couple of years and see what it is then. Next question, आप अकेले रहते हो, आप बोर नहीं होते, या फिर अकेले घर में रहकर डर नहीं लगता? तो मैं अकेली भी रही हूँ. मैं ऑफ कोर्स हम पेरेंट्स के साथ तो सभी रहते हैं, पेरेंट्स के साथ भी रही हूँ, फ्लैटमेट्स के साथ भी रही हूँ, एंड बाय फार अकेले रहना मेरा फेवरेट एक्सपीरियंस है. because you have all of the time and all of the space to yourself. You can do whatever you want. You can spend your time however you want. The freedom that comes with being by yourself completely is unparalleled. और जहाँ तक डर की बात है, yes, मुझे ऐसे कुछ चीज़ों से डर लगता है, जैसे cockroaches, wasps, एंड अगर मैं हॉरर मूवी देख लूँ तो भूतों से भी तो इन दो सिनेरियोज में लाइट ऑन करके सो जाती हूँ और अपने सर के नीचे हनुमान चालीसा रख के सोती हूँ, ताकि अगर भूत आई भी तो मुझे कुछ ना कहे भाई. ओके, नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन बाय द सैसी वाइब. वेरी कूल नेम. What inspires you so much? So many things. I think I am a very intrinsically inspired person. So whenever I see something nice, or whenever I see something that's remotely cute or good or aesthetic or life-changing, that inspires me. So content inspires me, of course. Interacting with people inspires me. Reading books inspires me. And all of that, I think, wouldn't inspire me if I wasn't just an intrinsically motivated person. So, and yeah, the paramount desire to make a name for myself, to make money, to become rich AF, all of those things inspire me. So I hope that answers your question. Next question, mad passions. How are you so confident on camera? A lot of practice. And initially when I started practicing, it was a lot of faking it till making it kind of a situation, basically acting like the version of myself that I wanted to be. So even though I didn't know what I was doing initially, I made sure that I acted like the most confident person on camera, and eventually that led to me being the most confident person on camera. You don't have anger issues? I'm assuming that's a question. Like, I want to cut off from people for having my peace, but you're always interactive. The very fact that I've chosen social media and being like in the public eye as a career option, it means that I have to be more interactive than the average person. Like, that's the nature of my job. But besides that, I have a lot of time to myself. I make sure that I get a lot of time to myself, so I have time to recover and recalibrate and, you know, get my senses back on track. I'm not always interacting, even though it might seem like that. Interacting online especially, and interacting with other people in real life as well, is a very small part of life, my friend. How are you always happy and joyful? I am not, sweetie. Nobody is. So this is like the problem with social media, because you only get to see this side of me. You don't know how I am the rest of the time, the rest of the 10 minutes on YouTube that you're not watching me, or the rest of the time that I'm not on Instagram. And even though that I'm primarily like a happy-go-lucky person, that's just like a personality trait, and I've always been this way, I have my moments of sadness, and I cry very regularly, to be very honest. And I think that helps me be more happy and joyful, because once I cry it out, it's out of my system and I'm back to being my happy, chirpy self. Next one, do you have a boyfriend? I'm actually very happy that I've only gotten like 2 or 3 boyfriend questions this time around. Usually when I'm doing like Q&As on Instagram, there are a shit ton of boyfriend questions, but I'm very happy. Good on you guys for not intruding into my personal space. But do I have a boyfriend? Maybe, maybe not. The next one is from my friend. What keeps you going on a daily basis as a self-employed person? Bro, when you're self-employed, you kind of have to rely on yourself for everything. So my motivation, like one source of my motivation, is that if I'm not making money this month, I'm not going to be able to make rent, and I'm not going to be able to pay for the lifestyle that I want. And since I don't take money from my parents, I kind of have to fall back on my work for this. So that keeps me going primarily. And then I love my work. I love what I do. I love the entire aspect of it, like all the different steps. So it's a lot of fun. It's extremely engaging, and I just love it. So those 2 things keep me going. Next one, how do you cope up with stress and anxiety in your daily work life? Working out and having like a set routine in place. So most days I follow that routine where I am working a set number of hours, and then I have time to unwind at the end of the day. And of course, I start my day by working out. So just those 3 things, having those 3 things in place ensures that I'm able to cope with the stress and anxiety that I have to deal with on a day-to-day basis. Next one is, are you from a middle-class family? Yes, I am. My father was in the army. He just recently retired, but for the majority of our lives, we have had a middle-class upbringing. Okay, the next one is by Shivam Mishra. Adete, I've noticed that you're very structured in your life, and at the same time ensuring that you're not very serious but instead you're sincere. It would be great to know how your childhood and your parents and friends have shaped you. Very, very sweet question. So I don't think I would be where I am without my childhood, without my parents, without my childhood friends shaping me into the person that I am. A lot of the lessons that I have learned about life, about love, about relationships, about friendships come from my formative years, as do everybody's, honestly. But I have had a very fortunate upbringing for the most part of it, and I don't know how else to answer this question, honestly, because if I start getting into the nitty-gritty details, it could get very long and very serious. Okay, so that was it for the personal questions. Now moving on to the YouTube content related questions. And we are going to start with, what are your sources of income? How do you monetize your Instagram? Bro, I have a video on this on the channel on how I make money as a creator, so you might want to go check that out. It has all of the details. How do you choose your content and research about it? So like I said, I have various different sources of inspiration. Anything that I read, anything that I see, one question that I've interacted with, a lot of questions come from you guys as well. So all of those become sources of inspiration for content topics. And then I sit down, usually plan my content up to a month in advance and pick from, these different sources. Once I have my topics finalized, I sit down and do my research before writing it down. So research is from the internet, through books, through things that I've read again, Google Scholar, actual research papers and all of that jazz to figure out what is the best way to come up with the content for you. So that is my process in a gist, I would say. But yeah, depending on the topic, the research process can vary a little bit. I could use different sources for different research material, but yeah, that's about it. Next one, I just want to ask you that if I have to start an Instagram page like you and a YouTube channel like you, how do I need to start and what will you suggest me to do? Start by just creating content, because you can't get better at something unless you have practiced it first, and the only way to get better at content is to create it. I really admire your video editing and video quality. Thank you so much. Is it you who edits the video? If yes, how can we learn the same? Is there some course you took to learn? So yes, I edit most of my videos. I have been trying to find video editors, but abhi aise synergy बैठी नहीं है. So I mostly edit my own videos. Yes. How can we learn the same? Bro, I have been learning video editing and like things related to it, like graphic design, photo design, whatever, since I was in class 10. This is something that has been of interest to me for the longest time. So I don't even know how to answer the question on where you can get started learning. If you are interested enough, I think you find a way. I started with YouTube videos and like Google articles on different aspects of editing, and that's how like it's built up to this position. I did not take a course, so I'm not sure what to recommend here, but probably Skillshare or like Udemy or something like that. They do have good courses on a lot of different topics. So maybe you want to start there. Next one is, how long did it take for you to reach 10,000 subscribers? You have worked really hard on this. Well, yeah, I guess I have worked hard on this. When you're in the flow, it kind of only feels like hard work in retrospect. But how long did it take me? So my journey has not been linear, which means like it's not like I started a few months ago and then I've reached 10k subs a few months later. I actually started creating videos, or like tried to start creating videos back in 2014, and then I made 2 videos and then I stopped. And after that I had like the longest break, and then I think 2020 is when I started back again, and then I again made like 5 videos in the year and then I stopped. I started creating videos like the beginning of this year, slightly more consistently, and if you look at that timeline, it took me about 6 months to get to 10k, but if you look at the whole journey, it took me like 6 years, bro. Next one is content creation your full-time one? Yes, content creation is my full-time work. I create content for my own personal brand, which is what you see right now on Instagram, on YouTube. I create content for other brands as well. So yes, I do content creation full-time. Next one is how to get 10k subs on YouTube as a beginner, my experience. Just create videos, learn with every video, apply your learnings to the next video. I know I've like oversimplified this, but that in gist is the process. Next one is, which apps do you use for editing? I do not edit my videos using an app. I use Final Cut Pro, which is the native software on the Apple computers. And I use a little bit of Canva for like graphics and animations, etc. So yeah, those are the 2 things that I use in my videos. And the next one is, what motivates you to keep coming up with good content? I like good content. I want to be on the side of people who create good content. I think there's a lot of fluff in the world, and if I can do just a little bit to add more value in that regard, I want to do it. And that is what motivates me to come up with good content. I'm actually very glad that you think it's good content. So yes, that was it for the questions, you guys. I am not sure how long this video is going to be, क्योंकि ऐसे takes retakes थे थोड़े बहुत. But thank you so much. Like I said, for 10,000 subscribers, I am over the moon. And we have to keep going on. I love this line from Robert Frost, if I'm not wrong. The woods are lovely, dark and deep, but I have miles to go before I sleep. So on that note, I will end this video. Thank you so much for watching and being a part of this journey with me. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.